For your federal milk marketing order, the average butter fat last year was 3.65. And your protein was 3.05. So, I don't know. You know what your values are. Are you average? Are you higher than average? Are you lower than average? Only you know. But if I take 3.65% fat and I multiply it by 90 pounds of milk, and I use 90, I could have used 80 or 70 or whatever. But the conclusions are going to be the same basically here. I calculate 3.29 pounds of fat, 3.05% times that gives me 2.75 pounds of protein, and that 90 pounds of milk is worth 11.48. 100, just, or the milk isn't, but that's what those components are valued at. Now you've got some additional value added on top of that. Okay, but that's 11.48. Now, what if you're below average? Now these below averages are not too low. I've seen a lot of butter fats here over my last year and a half running below 3.4. And I've certainly seen proteins running below 2.9. But, you know, they are below average. Okay, you can go through the math. Now that milk is worth $10.77, or not that milk, but those components are worth $10.77. So that's a loss of how much? Well, I don't know, 70, 75 cents a cow a day. 47-cent loss was due to the fat, and another 25% due to the decrease in milk protein. You add those two together, that's going to be what? 72 cents. And that's the difference between these two values here. But how about if you're above average? And hopefully all of you folks here, especially if you're United clients, you're probably way above these values even. I don't know. Not if Kenny has anything to do with it, I guess. But anyways, the rest of the guys. So let's say you're at 3.90% butter fat. 3.2. Well, those are numbers that you can get. You can get those numbers at very, very high production levels. Remember I mentioned that really high producing herd up near Green Bay, Wisconsin? With that high level of production? Well, right now he's running 4.15 on butter fat and 3.25 on protein. And one of the things that we've learned too, because of listening to people like Randy Shaver on carbohydrates and implementing some things like balancing for lysine and methionine, the two amino acids we know the most about, this whole thing that I learned about in school 40, 50 years ago about milk dilution has kind of gone away. Because we thought when we got high milk we had to have low components. Well, that's rubbish. Because these dairymen are proving us wrong. How is it? Oh yeah, at one time they had low components. But now they're saying, oh, look at this. I got high milk, I got high components. Well, how about your herd health? That must have just really gone down the tank. And they'll look at you and say, how do you think we got high milk? No, 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 no. We don't have health problems anymore. Yeah, that's because we finally realized we feed for maximum health and immune function and stuff like that, and then the cows give us a lot of milk. So we kind of looked at it wrong.